So don't just slip by. These days they will come and go. That's how you build a good life. One step, two steps, three, and it's over. Five into six again. 7 steps, 8 steps, 9, and I'm older, trying to figure out where I fit in. So hold yourself tight, so hold yourself tight. Everything will work out fine. So hold yourself tight, so hold yourself tight. Everything will work out fine.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Nik Nak Studios, covering Rick and Morty, episode 2. I know I'm a little late with this, which is fine. It makes for good practice. My goal is to cover every episode that I'm behind on up to, daily up till we're caught up. You know what I mean? So, word of encouragement for today. No matter how strange you look, no matter how ugly you feel, you are beautiful. Life is sweet like a pineapple pizza. And that comes from the legendary Oliver Tree. Rest in peace, my friend. Thank you for all of your wonderful music. And for all of the laughs that you gave us through the years. Rest in peace, Oliver Tree. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna get into episode 2 of Rick and Morty, season 9. Glad to see I got a handle on my chat here. Took me a minute to figure that out. I kept putting it behind my border and stuff. And my dumbass, I couldn't figure it out. You know what I mean? And then I finally figured it out. So now I'm kind of celebrating every time I can get my my chat up and working. So it's great. It looks awesome. I'm going to click it one more time just because that is like the coolest shit ever. I love this live streaming stuff. I might not be the greatest at it. I know I'm not the greatest at it. It brings it back to the Oliver Tree quote, you just, no matter how weird you feel, if you're doing what you love, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? If you're having fun, you're having a good time, don't worry about what other people think of you. I come on here and I'll re-listen to my lives. I've probably went live like 10, 15 times and then took it off the channel because I didn't like it. I was like not prepared, tripping over my speech and stuff. You know what I mean? I sometimes I feel like I'm Morty. My voice sounds weird. But why do I get on here and just to go back and replay it to, kind of shit on myself. You know what I mean? But I feel like I'm going to get better at this to practice. What does Mr. Beast say? Make 100 videos and then we'll talk, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing on here. And I'm forcing myself to keep them up. Hopefully I can get a handle on this live streaming stuff and learn myself and be more prepared, have my notes ready. That way when I do start getting followers and some viewers in here, if I do, hey, if I don't, I don't care. I'm going to do this because I'm having fun. I like getting on here and doing my artwork and talking about my favorite shows. And one of the reasons why I'm doing Rick and Morty is because I want to go in and study some of their artwork here, right? But if I do end up with some followers and they come on this live stream, hopefully they come in at a time when I've got this down and, I can do great live streams. But yeah, let's jump into this episode. This was I think they're trying hard. I think Dan Harmon, and who's the other creator that's on with Dan Harmon right now? Let's see. I want to give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find new creator of Rick and Morty. I know there's someone new on here. Maybe it is just Dan Harmon now. Okay. It says Dan Harmon remains the sole active creator. They parted ways with Roiland, sadly, in 2023. Sadly, over maybe, and I really still kind of don't know the full situation, but yeah, sadly departed away from Roiland over unfortunate circumstances on Roiland's part. Scott Martyr serves as the current showrunner. So that's who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Scott Martyr. I'm pretty sure he's new. I think he's new to the show. And then, of course, we got Ian Cardone and Harry Belden voicing Rick and Morty. Before I get into this episode, I will say that Rick's voice is getting a lot better. I think, I'm pretty sure it's Ian Cardone who plays Rick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Ian Cardone. And I think he's got it down. Even watching the first episode and this episode, I mean, it just feels like Rick. You know what I mean? It does. It feels like Rick. Morty still needs work. That's my personal opinion. And, I see the potential. I see that it's there. And I'm sure there are other voice actors out there that maybe could have, and I say this for the sake of people who have commented on Facebook, who have suggested certain names that could have played the characters, impressionists and stuff like that. But no, I think Morty. There are times where it sounds like Morty, right? And there are times where it's like that needs work. But and I don't say that to hate on the voice actor who puts in the hard work to voice voice Morty. But yeah, let's give him some time. We are for sure getting up to season 12. And from what I know, we're getting a movie. And I think we're getting a spin-off show as well of the president, right? Who's I forget his name. Who's the president in Rick and Morty? Voiced by Keith David. Andre Curtis. Okay, President Curtis, right? I'm pretty sure we're getting a spin-off show of the president. I don't know what it's going to be about. I don't know how they would do a spin-off with the president. Like, what does he do, really? I've always kind of viewed him as like, and I don't hate me for saying this, but I've always kind of viewed the president as one of the weaker characters. Like, there's some funny moments there for sure, but he's a supporting character, right? Like, I don't see him having main character energy. Maybe I'll be proved wrong. I had my doubts with Solar Opposites. I thought Solar Opposites was great. I'm actually, that's what's kind of sad about doing this YouTube stuff in 2026 is there are a lot of great shows out there that I wish I could have covered. And I'm sorry if you can hear the cars driving by. I'm trying to get better about, keeping my sentences coherent and staying on one track, not verging off into tangents. But I do apologize if you can hear the cars driving by. I am doing this stream a little earlier than I usually do, which will be the norm. And I moved all of my computer equipment out to my garage. That way I had a safe, or not a safe space, but like an area where I can be loud and, you know, not piss off everyone in my house. But yeah, so anyway, I am gonna build a nice little YouTube room or creative room. Nik Nak Studios. I'm building Nik Nak Studios in my garage, right? That'll come soon. I'm gonna do a nice professional studio, stuff like that. I got my audio equipment coming in tomorrow, so I should have a lot better audio. I know my audio fucking sucks right now. But yeah, back to what I was saying is I had my doubts with solar opposites, right? And it ended up being fire. It was. I think Solar Opposites was fire. I didn't finish season 5. I want to go back and finish season 5. But like I was saying, that's what kind of sucks about starting YouTube when I am. And, you know, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. But at the same time, I wish I would have been able to cover some shows that came out, you know. Some of the Marvel stuff, maybe some of the other seasons of Rick and Morty. Which this season I feel like is a great place to start. Because this season, I think, as I said in my first Rick and Morty recap, I think we're moving into a new age of Rick and Morty where, you know, these episodes just feel different. They do. First episode was, and I've said this before, damn near a Marvel movie. Like, they're trying hard. But it's not a try-hard type of energy. Like, they're doing it. This shit is fire. This episode was, I mean, you know, and I had it in my head. Like, okay, we got a damn near our Marvel movie, our Evil Morty episode. That was the smartest move. If I was doing that, if I was over it, and I had to kind of try to save Rick and Morty because people are saying it's fallen off, I would have started it with an Evil Morty episode. And they did. And then I said to myself, okay, after that, we need to bring it down. We need to bring it down to our, like, you know, we gotta fade it out because you can't have that for every episode of the season, right? We understand that. I will not be hurt if we get some slow episodes up to episode 5 even, right? I mean, it takes a lot of work to go through and animate these episodes. And I feel like we got a really fitting episode for, you know, the next one after episode 1. This was a great episode. It was different. It was something they've never really done before, but still felt familiar. It was awesome. So yeah, let's jump into this episode. So we start with a snowy landscape, which this artwork, man, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to cover Rick and Morty. I was like, man, I gotta cover Rick and Morty because I want to go through as an artist myself and really kind of pick up some tricks, right? So, I mean, if you look over at these trees, and this is what I love about Rick and Morty. I explained this in the my recap for the first episode. And I'm hoping this live stream will improve from that first one. But anyway, if we look at these trees and we see this simplistic design of these trees, it's got snow on it, and the snow looks actually really good. Their lighting in these episodes, their use of color, and you'll see a little more later on when I get into some of their actual, like, crazy artwork. They had some crazy artwork in this episode. You'll see that their use of color is phenomenal. It really is. Like, they just know what the fuck they're doing. These animators know what the fuck they're doing. Look at the moon back here. So simple, but so beautiful. You know, and we got the headlights glaring off. We got a little bit of this after effect lighting here. And even that worked out really well. This color gradient going off the road here. And it's cool because you can see these little details like the cracks in the road and stuff. But like I was saying, one of the reasons why I want to do Rick and Morty is they know how to draw these really simplistic things like these trees back here. But when you zoom out and you look at the full scene, it's like it looks so beautiful. It does. And everything's placed perfectly. You know what I mean? The RV here is almost a little off-center. It is off-center. And that allows for the road to sort of stretch out so you can get the snowy feel of the trees over here. I really like this cloud stretching over the moon over here. I mean, it's like something you would actually see in nature, right? So anyway, we got this RV showing up, and that's how we start. Almost like a Breaking Bad type vibe, right? A deer runs out in front of this RV. Again, with the glow of the headlights. That looks perfect. Perfect. And what I was going to say earlier is I like how they got the black outline, and then for the snow, they switch it into like a lighter colored outline here. So simplistic, but it works. It looks nice. But yeah, so the deer jumps out in front, and I feel like, so yeah, you know, this obviously, I think we can tell that this mysterious figure that hops out of this RV here is Rick, right? But, and you know, I'm wondering if they actually were trying to model this after Breaking Bad. There was a few moments where I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely like some Breaking Bad type shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look up the RV from Breaking Bad and see how similar it is and see if that's kind of what they were going for. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's exactly, it's not exactly the same, I would say, but I'm gonna plug my phone in here because it's going dead. Maybe I ain't got my charger anyway, so I might not be able to. No, yeah, they literally modeled this after the Breaking Bad trailer. There's a little bit of difference to it, but I mean, like the subtle shape. The vents on the top, like the AC unit or stuff like that, it's all the same. So it's like, you know, it's not that they were almost like parroting Breaking Bad, but they were pulling some inspiration. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah. Rick's got a flat tire from the deer running in front of him. Or this mysterious character's got a flat tire, right? He clicks on this music, plays an old-timey, old-fashioned song, which worked really well for the thematic setting of this episode. Again, some of this lighting over here, some of this color gradient looks really nice. The lighting on this being real bright and real orange looks really nice, and on the glove. So he's cutting up a boot for the leather rubber. It was kind of funny to me because I understood the idea behind this is that he's cutting up what is it, like a rubber boot? I've never really seen brown rubber boots, but hey, I get it. He's melting down some rubber to patch up his tire, right? So yeah, this is again, with some of this, the detail in this, like I have one of these car jacks. This is, I mean, you know, I got a few of these car jacks. These are like the more simple, come with the car, you know, type of jacks. So it's like they really animated this out to look nice. I mean, the chain, you got his socket wrench here, little radio in the foreground. So we get a shot of this mysterious character looking at the deer. The deer's almost kind of considering this character. And I feel like this was a callback to, was it season 2? Yeah, it was season 2. The episode with the deer that gets hit by the car, and Beth is trying to... What episode was that? I'm trying to remember. I should be able to tell you off the top of my head. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. But it's a callback to the season 2 where the deer did the same thing. Like after Beth was done stitching him up, the deer kind of looked at Beth, and then the Native American guy came out of nowhere, and yeah, they ran off into the forest. So we kind of got that little call back to season 2 there. That was nice. I liked that. So then it's exposed that Rick is this mysterious character. I mean, we knew. I mean, at least I knew. I could tell it was Rick, right? But they did it really well. Like, it gave that mystery of, like, what's Rick doing out here? Why is he out here in an RV? You know what I mean? Living this simplistic life. And you can tell that even though he has to stop and patch up a tire, which, you know, for me, that pissed me off. Anytime I get a flat tire, I'm pissed the hell off, right? So he's happy though. It shows you the mind state that he's in. That something like changing a tire that would be irritating to most of us, for him it's a break. It's nice. It's something that is taking him away from the real stress of his life that he's dealing with, right? So yeah, and I like these zoomed out shots here because I like zooming in on some of the detail. I like zooming in on some of this detail in here. Hang on, Sorry about that. Had to send out a text. Important. Anyway, so yeah, I love the detail in some of these trees here. And you got the nice snow starting to fall. The RV looks amazing. Everything's proportional. Everything looks right. No lines out of place, right? The design on it looks good. I wonder what they put the M in there for. You know, I wonder what that stands for. Because I think, is it supposed to be... It's supposed to be like a Winnebago, right? And usually the symbol would be like a W. So they're doing some safe... They're playing it safe with that, right? By changing up the logo. Yeah, it looks amazing. It looks really good. I mean, this is artwork right here. This is... I mean, the tire shreds on the ice. Yeah, it looks really, really good. So we switch over to Rick pulling up in his RV to a bowling alley called Dream Lanes. Again, with the, naming stuff after... and I'm thinking about this episode. Why did they call it Dream Lanes? I mean, is it because he's on vacation. Maybe they just thought it sounded nice. I always wonder about that, like the reason for naming things that are maybe subliminal, in nature. Yeah, this looks really nice. I like the big bowling pin with the lights on it, with the, with the crown on there. The cars they always draw cars really nicely. And somehow they keep it's almost like their backgrounds. I don't know if it's maybe just a subconscious thing that they've ingrained into us, but I like the fact that they keep their backgrounds fitting to the designs of their characters, right? Because I've seen shows, and I can't think of an example. I'm trying to think of an example, but I've seen shows where the backgrounds really almost looked too, they didn't fit the design of the character, right? But for some reason, Rick and Morty, they seem to animate their backgrounds to fit their characters, and it looks really nice. Some of this yellow lighting in here. I would have liked to see some green glow on the frame here. But that's minor. That's minor. I mean, they got the glow over here. Yeah, it looks really good. So he pulls up to a bowling alley. He walks in. He's got a smile on his face. We see all these pictures here with Rick, or as we will soon find out, Ted, right? So he's been here for a while, and he's made all these buddies. I forget her name. Lorraine, maybe? I'm going to call her Lorraine. Maybe it's not Lorraine. This guy looks funny. I like this guy here. But yeah. So he walks in. He sees the memories that he's made. Antonio down here. What the hell's going on here? I don't know what that was all about. But anyway, so his buddies notice that he walks up to the bar. There's some funny dialogue that happens in here. They got pictures of beer. So the buddies see that Ted has returned, right? And Ted's over here happy to see his buddies. Ted. But anyway, so yeah, they catch up. They're walking out to their cars. They ask Ted how long he's gonna be here for. He says he thinks he's staying this time. Catches up with his buddy Antonio here. Asks about Lorraine, which I think her name's Lorraine. I think maybe next time what I'll do is I will play the episode, just because I do kind of forget sometimes the little details. I wanted to go through and do some notes, but I have to catch up on these live streams pretty quickly. You know what I mean? I know episode 4 dropped last weekend. We're coming up on episode 5, so I'm kind of getting behind on this, all because of my From video. But yeah, that's one thing I would like to improve with these live streams. I want to take some notes, that way I remember some of the quotes and some of the jokes that were told and stuff, But anyway, so in this scene right here, they get a little bit real, right? They get a little bit real with some of the life events that's happening with the characters in the show. And Ted over here, Ted. Yeah, they have a little solemn moment here. So, yeah, they drive over to the liquor store. This looks really good. I like these little like afterglows that they're putting in here, like the snow fog kind of getting kicked up in here. All of the colors are on point. It's like they had a color palette. So I'd say their color palette was probably this little bit of like a weird greenish blue, right? This like teal or and then red, yellow with like this yellow, dark yellow, and then this light white blue. So that's a pretty good color palette. And then they can go in and they can add these little after colors like the green, and you know, as long as it all meshes well with the color scheme. Little details they throw in it, like the one of the letters being out on the sign. That's something you'd see. That's one thing that Rick and Morty gets right. Little subtle details that you normal people just breeze over, right? That maybe would be like almost subliminally like told to you or shown to you. That you wouldn't really like hyper focus on, but you might glance across and be like, wow, okay, yeah, that's some detail. That was some thought that was put into this, you know? This small town liquor store, of course it's going to have a letter out, right? Yeah, I like this. They put in the ice machine, a little trash can with the dirt on the side, which like, I mean, it looks so good, but like, look at it. It's simple. It's simplistic. Got the ATM sign. Some of these random signs up in here. Thank you for shopping here. Pay inside. I mean, yeah, no shit, you know? It's actually kind of funny because pay inside is something they would do for a gas station. So maybe there's a gas station here. I don't know. But still, it's something you would see, you know? So yeah, Antonio and Rick, of course, Rick being the alcoholic he is, they go in for some beers. They have this conversation. Yeah, definitely need to start taking some notes because I'm starting to forget what they were talking about. I know, professional of me, but yeah, I mean, originally I was gonna plug my headphones in and maybe listen to the episode while I talk to you guys. Maybe I'll do that for the third episode, just to be a little more engaging. The ATM machine looking fucking on point. The cup dispenser looking fucking on point. The chips in the background, you know, and I like how they didn't just straight up copy and paste. Like they went through and drew every single one. Looks awesome. The beers look good. It's almost like he's got some kind of Lagunitas or some kind of dark brew beer or something local. You know what I mean? It's awesome. Looks really good. I mean, and all of this stuff back here. So yeah, this robber comes in, holding up the place. Of course, this was brought into the story as a way to expose that Rick doesn't know he's Rick. He's Ted, and he's fully Ted, right? Yeah, they use this whole scene here as a way to show you, and this is sort of the inciting incident, right? Where everything pops off. So that's where Rick finds out he's getting hauled up by this armed robber here with the gold tooth. No pants, no service, right? Microwave for customers only. It's not for employees, okay? But anyway, it's not for people that just want to walk in and use the fucking microwave. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta buy something. You can't just use our microwave. You gotta buy some. Electricity fucking costs around here, right? So, yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. Got some heavy-duty plastic forks and fucking knives up here. So, yeah, anyway, this robber comes in, holds up Rick. That's when it's exposed that Rick's got cybernetic enhancements, these like fucking Doc Ock claws. It looks like he's got a Doc Ock claw with a fucking syringe in it. So I'd assume, you know, his whole system here is automated. You know, it can just sense what needs to be done. It pops out of his fucking arm here and does what it needs to do without him even thinking about it. Right. So, yeah, that shows Ted here that he's not, I mean, he's tripping, right? He's not actually Ted. He's, what the fuck is this all about? You know, so I'm sure Rick, like, implanted false memories into his head so that he feels like he's Ted. So when Ted finds out he's got these fucking Doc Ock claws that come out of his arm, he's tripping. He's like, what the fuck is going on here? And you know, maybe, I'm going to go back to this, maybe there's a small part of him that knows he's not actually Ted. And this confirmed, this whole expression on his face here just kind of confirmed his suspicions, right? So yeah, anyway, dude over here fucking seizing up, probably paralyzed, because that's how Rick gets down, right? I like how they did the bricks over here. This whole setup looks nice, like the interior, nice soft colors. The cashier runs out like, hey, I called the cops. The cops are coming. You know, I don't know, what is she, a narc, I guess, maybe? Like, maybe she's tripping, like, what the fuck was that all about? But yeah, anyway, or maybe she doesn't want to be left with this fucking... The facial expressions in this episode are on point. Especially when this shit happens. But anyway. Yeah, so Antonio kind of turns. Rick's tripping the fuck out. He's walking away damn near in shock that this had just happened, right? That these fucking... You know, and this... No, they did have to... They drew this episode here, this scene here. Is this the same background? Did they have it zoomed in a little bit? Or did they have to draw this again? Man, that would be a pain in the ass, wouldn't it? And that's the hard part about animation, is sometimes you get this background done, right? And you got to go back and fucking repaint it, but just zoomed out a little bit. So, I mean, maybe they did. Nah, I think that's a completely different background. That's amazing. We got the dumpster over here looking fucking awesome. I like this little, almost like a little bit of a snow effect on it. I like the lighter colored design. That's really nice. But yeah, so Rick's tripping the fuck out. He's in shock. He's running away, right? That just happened. He heads back to his RV. He's got he's a fisher, right? He's got some spices over here. But yeah, he starts chugging a beer. Which I'm doing myself. Yeah. Starts chugging a beer. He's he's on edge. He's on edge about what happened. Maybe he's trying to clear this memory out of his mind. Decides to maybe cut into himself. And one of the reasons why I actually screenshotted this was to look into this drawer here. He's got one of those finger traps, just a random fork. But I kind of wanted to zoom in because like some of these like smaller objects like this are fun to zoom into. Like that sucker. Say cheese flavored? Oh no, it says cherry. It says cherry flavored. All right. No, it looks fucking amazing. Like it's so simple, but somehow being as simple as it is, it's got so much detail. This is great. This is crazy. What's going on with my What's going on with my shit here? Okay. So it's just my USBs. My USBs somehow are not plugged all the way in. The coins too, the change. The change looks great. You zoom in, and it's like a child's drawing, but then you zoom out, and it's like, nah, that's professional as fuck for a cartoon. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, he tries to cut into himself to see what the fuck's going on, make sure he isn't a robot, and the Doc Ock claws prevent him. It grabs the knife, throws the knife in the drawer, slams the drawer, and this hologram of Rick. Hologram Rick's back. He pops up to tell him, hey, you know, if you discovered, the reason I'm here now is if you discovered your cybernetic enhancements and you start tripping the fuck out, here's what you're gonna do, you know? So, I mean, the claws grab him up, cover his mouth, lock him into this chair here. Hologram Rick explains that he's on a different planet, he's on an alien planet, that, you know, this whole place isn't Earth, which I thought in the beginning. I was like, all right, what the fuck's he doing out here? I thought it was Earth. It's a different planet, maybe a different dimension, as seen later on. But, yeah, so, let's see. Basically tells him, hey, you know, if everything's not okay, hit this red button and your memories will be returned to you. You can return to Earth. If everything's all right, but something stupid happened, hit this blue button and the memories will be wiped from the last few moments to where you can go back to having your vacation here. And that's really what this is all about, right? Having his vacation. So after that whole experience, he doesn't press either button, steps out of his RV, pukes on the ground out of nervousness, right? Looks back in. They did that puke very well. It seems like some Family Guy type shit, right? Yeah, he looks back in. Just look at this scene here. Very well, these shots, these frames are very well done. They are. They storyboard this out really, really well. I love it. I love it. I like how they didn't just keep some of this flat. There's almost a cinematic vibe to this season. So you can see, like, they add the shadow, the light shining through the RV. And they add the shadow on the shoulders and the hair and stuff. It looks really good. It gives it like a cinematic vibe. There's more detail. There's more depth to it, right? I really like that they're still using their. It's not letting me zoom in. I guess I can zoom in here. I still like that they're using their, like, they're not just using like a shade brush. This is a big thing that I noticed in season 1. That they use this the splatter brush here, which just gives it its own style. It looks really nice. They used it real heavy in the anatomy episode. That was a great episode. Anatomy Park. Yeah, there was a lot of this effect here. So yeah, he goes into Lorraine. Her name's fucking Lorraine. I swear. All right. So he goes into Lorraine. Lorraine at first doesn't recognize him. Says, oh, you poor thing. You look like a popsicle. You're as cold as a popsicle. They go in. They get a drink together. They have this nice moment where they're talking. Rick doesn't want to stay in the RV no more. So he asks her if there's still a room in the back. And they have this nice moment with this disco ball. So I know I know I'm not making good time here. I still have a lot to cover, but I gotta pause on some of these moments. So episode 1 was really great. The artwork was fucking amazing. But I like these episodes where they sort of slow the story down a little bit. Because these are the episodes where you really kind of get some of the best fucking artwork. Like that disco ball looks fantastic. The lights with the orange, the little bit of orange in it. Like that was really well, that meshed really well with the color scheme of the rest of the scene. Like they could have done like a white, they could have done like a white effect like anyone would have drawing a light. But instead they bring in this low light orange vibe. Looks really nice with the Christmas lights in the back. I mean, and you know, like you can tell the color scheme in this. You got a little bit of this lighter blue. You got this darker blue. And then you got this purple that goes across. So then you bring in some complementary color, like the orange lighting or the red, yellow, and green lights in the back. Maybe a little bit of the red exit sign. It's just really well done. This is a really well done shot here. It looks beautiful. And the story is on point at the same time. You know, we get one of those episodes where it's like, this is almost like a realistic thing. Like, what would actually happen if you wiped your memory and just went on a vacation for a while? And you started discovering that you're a completely different person. This is a trope in storytelling, right? But we're getting a new spin on it with this episode. This looks fucking amazing. So Rick's over here looking for her Lorraine to lift up his spirits, and that's exactly what she did. They lay down on the lanes, which was kind of funny to me because I'm pretty sure they oil these lanes, so they're like laying in a bunch of oil. Yeah, so they just talk about life, and I think this is where he says, "Hey, you still got a room in the back." They wake up in the morning. Rick looks a little bit concerned. Lorraine's happy as fuck. Hey, Lorraine is happy as hell. She even says, "Oh, don't get out of bed. Stay cuddling with me." But he's tripping. He's still tripping on the fact that he's not Ted, right? So maybe he's happy in this moment. And knowing Rick, I know better than all this shit. We're getting this exposition. We're getting this, this fluff, this surface fluff of him being so concerned about not being who he thought he was. But deep down, he's doing this all for this type of situation right here. And there's evidence for this at the end of the episode, So yeah, he's laid up with Lorraine here. And Lorraine, she's not like, she's like a built woman, right? You've seen earlier on in the episode, she's like built. So yeah, Rick's having some fun over here. This shit, man. Rick and Morty's fucking awesome. So yeah, he heads out to his RV here. Of course, hologram Rick shows up. Says, all right, if you're seeing this one, it's kind of a callback to season 4 with the whole death crystal when Rick dies. That was a really awesome scene when Rick flew out of the fucking spaceship or his ship and then got impaled by that real sharp rock. That was a really cool scene. But anyway, yeah, so it's kind of a callback to season 4. Walks in, the lighting's really, really good, well done. You got this darker blue, but then of course the casted light onto this tire iron here would be a little bit lighter, so that's really well done. this too on the sides of them. Nice color scheme here, the brown and the blue, and like this almost like olive green over here. Really nice color scheme here. You know, and it always usually does fall into the realm of like a trifecta color scheme, right? So, you know, you if you really look at a lot of like cartoons or a lot of TV shows, even in film, it always kind of does fall down into like the triple color scheme. There'll be three main colors that you can zoom in on, like a dark blue, even this shirt. And they, even if they like kind of verge off of the hue, like the hue or the let me say, or what would I say? Like, so think about this chair here. It's not all the same. It's not like they took this color green and then just lightened it and darkened it. Like they changed the hue of it just a tad bit, but it's all based off of the same color. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, really well done. Really well done. So yeah, he let's see. I guess I thought I screenshotted. He takes his tire iron, he places it in the puts the RV into drive, places that on the gas pedal, and he gets rid of the fucking RV, right? Breaks through his fence, goes down, gets all crashed up down here, which later on we will see. Nice, strange, snow-colored, soft-colored sky here. Love that. It's like milky with the brown and the blue. Again, color scheme. Nice. Really, really nice. They make really good use of color. They really do. You can pick up a lot of game off of Rick and Morty, and that's why I wanted to cover this. So yeah, we switch over to Rick, still miserable, hanging out with his buddies. He should be having a good time, but he just can't get the shit off of his mind. They're using this sled here as a way to find some firewood. They're ice fishing. Got the shed, which later on we know this shed will come back into play. We've got the truck in the background. And they're on this big slab of ice out here. And if you look, there is some trees, or maybe I would say those are trees, maybe some mountains in the background. Something you would almost not even notice, but like it's there, and it gives it that detail. It gives it that like depth, right? So it's almost like this is on a curve, even though it's not. It just gives it that depth of field. Really awesome. So his buddies start cheering him up. You know what I mean? He explains to them that he's, you know, not actually Ted. Or is that what happened? I thought this scene right here was cool. The wood's done really nice. Just this random, like, almost kind of shitty frame here, but it's not. It looks great. You get the point of what's going on. This is style right here. This shot right here just showed style. So yeah, this okay, yeah, that's right. He explains after this part who he really is. But they had cheered him up while they were sitting there. I wish I would have listened to the episode while I was doing this so I could actually like explain a little better, because I am starting to kind of forget. Hey, what up, Kyle? Damn. Okay. You guys are on my live stream here. First followers on the live stream to actually. I'm gonna pull your guys' chats up. Kyle Gatroff said, "What's up, my dude? What up, Kyle? How you doing, man? Good to see you here. That's awesome. I appreciate you. I wasn't even paying attention to it because, you know, I ain't got no fucking followers. But, yeah. There's Brooklyn Mays said, we're in the chat right now. I finally noticed. And she sent a strawberry. I finally noticed you guys. I'm sorry I didn't notice you sooner. But I appreciate you guys for coming through here. Love you guys, man. These are my friends. Or, well, Kyle's my friend. Brooklyn's, that's my girlfriend. So, love you, baby. Yeah, so Rick looks out the window here. And, he notices a light showing up in the distance. He goes out with a shotgun. Another really well done scene here. I like this glow going through the background. Almost like these beams of light coming out. That's awesome, dude. You know, I was looking for an excuse to... I always look for an excuse to use my little interactive chat here. You know what I mean? So if you guys are still watching, thank you for that. I wanted to be able to pop up my chats, see what it looks like. That's fucking awesome. Love you guys, man. So yeah, this big egg shows up, which is, this has got to be an Arrival reference, right? Little bit of an Arrival reference here, using some inspiration. The design of this looks awesome. So yeah, he gets a phone call in his fucking leg. And I'm trying to think of the ringtone. The ringtone's actually a funny ringtone on there. But yeah, he gets a call on his leg. It ends up being Morty. He picks it up. Just the fact that he's got a fucking telephone in his leg, that's hilarious. So yeah, he answers the phone. It's Morty trying to say, hey man, you know, I'm not trying to ruin your vacation, but maybe something's wrong right now. He says, fuck you, I don't know who you are, or whatever. Morty says, just get in the egg. He says, no, I'm not doing that shit. Throws the phone down. The claw comes out of the egg, tries to grab him up and abduct him, take him back. His buddies show up in their truck here and destroy the egg, right? So they show up, they ask him like, well, what's going on? What's this egg? Is this your spaceship or something? He says, look, guys, I'm not who I said I was, you know. And they take it well. They go back in, talk to Lorraine a bit. He explains that they need to be prepared for something that's coming. So Lorraine tells these old ladies it's time to go. Got to shut the bowling alley down. Look at this old lady here. I almost feel bad for her, but they're fucking pissed off. They talk shit all the way, you know, on the way out. The buddies are going back here to prepare for battle. They cut into Rick's arm to try to gain control of his cybernetic enhancements. So yeah, I like how they did this. They made the arm pop out, and then they used this vice grip, or I guess it's kind of like a saw. It's a vice grip saw or like drill bit, right? To capture the arm. And they start setting shit up. They start plugging these holes in these bowling balls, which we'll see why they were doing that later. I like the layering of these pins over here. It's real rough, but it looks really nice. The lighting. Here's the thing with painting, like some of these simplistic things like this, right? You can have these really rough layered objects in your scene, but you have to make sure that you're using the right color. So as you can see, this was probably their base color here. They hued it up to a warmer color, which, you know, it's funny to call white warmer, but what I'm saying is they hued it up, and then what they did is they hued it down for this background color here. To a colder color. So your reds and your yellows and your oranges, those are hot colors. You would use those. You want to hue all of your lighted bright light sides, your highlighted sides, to like a red, yellow, something that's warm, right? So when you do a shadow, you want to hue that down to a colder color, which would be like your blues, your purples, maybe even your greens sometimes, you know. So yeah, you got to make sure that you hue your colors down correctly, otherwise it'll look like shit. But they did it very good right here. And I love how they that's one thing I do love about Rick and Morty too, is their tech, their mechanical structures that they put into the show. Like, they're showing you the whole, you know, how a bowling alley works. They're using this to the advantage of their story. And I love that. I love that. It's genius. It's genius. So yeah, and they're using the sprinkler system. Antonio over here is wiring up the sprinkler system for later use. They're adding pressure to their looks like their water system here. It looks like they got it rigged up to blow. Again, with the how they hued the colors down, they layered down this barrel that's in the background. Looks really nice. Even their bricks, this like real light texture to it. Looks really nice. Looks good. And I like how they use these softer colors, but then they bring in a character in the foreground with almost like a brighter color to them. And notice how they almost modeled the background to the colors of the character. They made sure that nothing was going to be jarring or out of place. It all looks perfect. Yeah, they do. Oh, man, they do such an amazing job with their colors, man. So yeah, anyway, Rick's over here nervous as fuck. They're about ready to cut through this arm here. Then we switch to him being ready. He's ready to defend this bowling alley. And of course, here comes some sort of defense trying to capture Rick, take him home. And yeah. But they're ready. They're prepared. They're prepared for battle. He's got his little remote control here, ready to go, ready for action, right? Rick hiding behind these pins. I thought that was kind of cool that they hid behind the pins. Maybe there's a little bit of like I don't know. There's an aesthetic to it, right? The pink ground here looks really nice. With the orange, again with the color scheme, red, orange, pink, with a little bit of blue in there, brown. So yeah, these robots show up. These drones enter in to the bowling alley. Second defense, right? They start throwing these bowling balls on here, which we soon learn. And you know, I love it because the fucking robots have Rick-styled hair. Oh, that's great. They look great. So yeah, all of these bowling balls are coming out. We find out that they're fucking explosives. Boom! They rigged up this pin machine here, the pin dropper, as basically like a projectile machine. And they start taking out these drones, these robots. Start loading up some more pins. This is really cool. I like how they make use of what they have in the episode to, like, it's genius that they're using this place and all of the equipment that they have to go to war, right? So Antonio tries to hit the sprinkler systems. They don't work, so he set it up wrong. So they keep, shooting pins at him. This guy pulls the rope, which brings down this electrified net down on top of these guys. One of them breaks in, is about to kill this redhead guy here, and the ginger. And Rick shows up with a shotgun, shoots it before it can cause any damage or cause any harm to them, and goes out and fights some more. This one shows up right here trying to grab onto him. Lorraine hits the fire alarm, starts shooting at him, saves Rick. They finally hit the sprinkler systems. The sprinkler systems have some sort of flammable, maybe some gasoline or something, and they light them on fire. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, they burn them down. Burn them down to the ground. So anyway, and I don't know how they put the fire out so fast. That kind of seemed a little weird to me. But yeah, Lorraine somehow got messed up. She's dying, she's bleeding. At first I thought she'd be okay, but then I noticed she's got like some kind of piece of metal stuck in her. There's quite a bit of blood back here. Rick shows up, we get this sad moment, and Lorraine dies. Rick's crying. So the stakes are being upped in this scene right now. I mean, we got some real stakes in this episode. So yeah, Rick's had enough. He grabs onto the wires, drags this drone into the back to work on it, rips it open, starts working on it. While he's trying to look into this drone, this little eye comes out. This little microscopic eye comes out. So yeah, he goes with it. At first he's kind of shocked by it, but then he rolls with it. He pulls this little motherboard out. I would assume this is a motherboard. This looks good. This looks really nice. I mean, yeah, his buddies show up like, "You good, man?" I can't remember exactly what was said. I really need to just watch this while I'm doing this. But anyway, yeah, so he tells them, "Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this shit. We're gonna go track this motherfucker down." Talking about himself, his real self, right? So yeah, he plots out the star system. That way he can figure out which constellation they need to go to. And he says, "I'm coming for you, motherfucker." All right. So this scene was really cool. Some of the artwork in this was top fucking tier. I mean, even this shot right here with all of this stuff going on. These random little parts that you've never seen in your goddamn life. Some screws, just so evenly and perfectly placed. Even just putting this. It's got what he's got. It's got a sort of a shelf here, like a rolling shelf. With these bars, they put in this the dirty, greasy effect on this. Looks super fucking nice. Just little details, man, that they put in this. This grime kind of coming down off the walls back here. Got to keep it grounded. Got to remember that you're in a bowling alley. So we're going to put this poster back here. Perfect. That's awesome. You can see he's plotting out the star systems back here with these strings and these tacks. Nice colors to him, the green and the red. He's got this, man, such simplistic but such complex machinery or, mechanical objects here. Like the way that this desk works. So awesome. Some shit you wouldn't really see in another show. You know what I mean? Just the attention to detail is perfect. I like this almost 90s styled monitor, or 80, almost an 80s styled monitor back here. Yeah, the duct system going up, some of the wires hanging down. Awesome. Looks fucking amazing. So yeah, he's plotting his plan out. I love this. They use the bowling ball with the antenna, this piece of wire wrapped around this bowling ball. Awesome. Incorporating in the bowling pin into his design here. Fucking amazing. He's got his square. He's got his straight edge. So yeah, they start pulling everything out of the the mobile unit, the RV. You can see that they've taken the tires off of it. You can see the actual fucking caliper system. That's the detail, man. Like, these guys just knew what the fuck they were doing. Even the fact that the RV had hit the tree over here, and we got a little bit of the end, like the bark ripped off of the tree. Just perfect attention to detail. Little propane tank, some parts and shit. Fucking awesome. So they're building a spaceship so that they can go deal with this issue. So that Ted can live his life in peace, right? Tries to mess around, this guy, the ginger, tries to mess around with this seat in here. One of the Doc Ock claws comes and grabs his nose comically. They start cutting into the bowling pin here for the top of their spaceship, as we've seen in the design plan. Rick finally gains control of his. He wires up the clamp. I mean, come on. He clamped something in there. It's fucking such good attention to detail. But yeah, he wires himself up to this monitor, gains control of his Doc Ock claw. And they did this perfect too, to show, you know, because they're montaging this with this nice song. But they did this perfect to show that he's now got control of it, where they did the little handshake, slap bump, you know what I mean? So yeah. They're using the the gumball machines as helmets. It's awesome. So here's the prototype. They're and it looks like they're using parts from the drones to build their spaceship. I love this. I love that they're using everything that was shown to you in the episode, and he's using those parts to build the next thing. You know, it's really well thought out. Really well thought out. Nice color scheme back here with the purple and the reddish and the yellow, with the rays coming through. I noticed in this season, they're making really good use of the glows, and it gives it this nice cinematic feel to it. It does. Like I said, man, they're stepping their shit up. They're stepping their shit up. They're trying to. Rick and Morty's back. Rick and Morty is back, man. So yeah, they got this. I love the bowling ball antenna. What that's for, I don't know, but it's awesome. It gives it that aesthetic, that bowling ball aesthetic, or you know, bowling alley aesthetic with the pin on top. So awesome. Looks great. And it's almost got like an old school Apollo mission styled, you know, with the arms and stuff. Yeah. I love when they do this. I love when they throw the glare rings. You got these lines coming out. The orbs, the light orbs. Their lighting is perfect. It is. It's perfect. Then they use colors that you really wouldn't think to use. A lot of like gray-scaled greenish up here. It's not green, it's gray, but like the way that they use the complementary colors, you know, you can tell that the original object's supposed to be green. Since they use the gray and then they use their complementary colors, it tricks your brain into believing like, okay, that's just the lighting. It's just the lighting that's throwing the color off a bit. Amazing. So yeah, this is really cool. Just the amount of fucking detail in this frame here. With all these levers and buttons and cords coming out. You know what I mean? It just looks so good. Whatever this is supposed to be. Got a nice little panel over here with these like joystick knobs. Again, with the Breaking Bad references. You know, they got their jumpsuit with the fucking kitchen gloves on. Looks like they got some What they got going on over here? They use their tap machines. They use their tap levers, the bottle with the fluid coming in here. Some duct tape just to show, look at the duct taped walkie-talkie over here just to show that they like pulled it, like the tape up here just to show that they pulled this shit together out of their ass, right? They're using, it's the same idea as like Rick's original fucking spaceship. Like he's just pulling this shit out of his ass, but it's fucking genius and it works. I love that. This half-assed like genius shit. Got the box with the big red button. Nice spaced. Everything's spaced correctly too, right? To where it's not too gaudy. It's gaudy, but it's gaudy in a way that works, and it like almost just overwhelms your brain, but it looks so nice to where it overwhelms your brain in a good way. I love it. I love it. So yeah, he whatever he's got here, his little star. Maybe that was Lorraine's necklace. I can't remember. Antonio makes this comment about his wife, which I thought originally. I put this in here because I thought originally we would like this would like, you know, make sense to the story later on. No, it's just this random fucking just threw it in there for the moment. You know what I mean? To give it tension, right? No, yeah, I thought later on we would see the wife and she would pop up out of nowhere, but no. So this is really cool. This is I like the diagonal direction of the ship taking off here. The colors, like I said, the glow coming through just looks so fucking amazing. So cinematic. Yeah, this looks good. This is like the most this is like the most simplistic but most well done cartoon shot. The lighting is fucking phenomenal. God damn, dude. They need to pull the team of Rick and Morty, the animators, together more often for other shows. All of these guys should be set for life. They should have projects wherever they fucking go. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. I support it. Wherever you guys go, keep doing this good work because you guys are fucking awesome. So yeah, again, red, orange, green, yellow. Perfect. I love how they use the fucking controls of the ship with the fucking beer taps. Who thinks of this shit? The controls of the ship are the fucking beer taps. I mean, come on, dude. That's amazing. Well, I mean, we got fuses over here. Like, it's just so fucking well thought out. I know I'm saying the same shit over and over, but it is. It's just phenomenal how much thought they put into some of this stuff. Of giving it character. That's what these beer taps does, right? It gives this ship character with the bottle over here filling up with this glowing fluid. It keeps it grounded. It shows you the character of who these guys, this is Ted, this isn't Rick. It shows you the character of who these guys are. So yeah, I loved this. We're bringing it back. I love whenever they zoom in on Rick's face and he's got this just fucking almost cockeyed expression to show you that he's like just going crazy. So amazing. So I really loved this scene here where they're breaking out of the atmosphere because remember, these guys, Ted, of course, and these guys have never actually been to space before. So this is just this, they did a really good job of showing that this is this amazing moment for them, right? They're keeping it character driven. So they break through the atmosphere. I love this, the galaxy. I love this purplish, dark bluish, purplish glow. The galaxy looks amazing in the background. You know, they're seeing a planet for the first time, right? And they keep showing this, so that has to be Lorraine, right? It has to be Lorraine's necklace, just to show that, you know, this is all for her. Look at the lengths that these guys are going to for Lorraine. So this is the part that I really liked. This almost neon jumping into hyperspace or into a new dimension to get to, what is it, C-53? Am I thinking that's Marvel? C-53? They call it something different in here. I'll have to go back and remember. I get that mixed up sometimes with the Marvel and the Rick and Morty. But anyway, I think that's Rick and Morty. So yeah, the rainbow neon colors, which kind of brings you back to the lights within the bowling alley, the neon glow. It looks so fucking good. Absolutely loved this shot. The outline. And I don't even know how to explain this. This is some of the most amazing shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. This, like, psychedelic, like the red outline back here, you know, the purplish going into the orange and the yellow, like the outline extending out as they're jumping into this new dimension. Like, what the fuck, man? This is beyond anything that I would ever think of. Drawing something like this. This is pure fucking artwork right here. It is. It's pure fucking artwork. And this is why I wanted to cover Rick and Morty. I wanted to pick up game. I wanted to look at this shit and look at these. I mean, this is OP artwork right here. Especially for something simple like a cartoon, you know? I wanted to pick up some game. It helps me think outside the box when it comes to artwork. I've got no words, man. I mean, it looks so good. It looks so good with the outline extending out like that. Oh, man, I can't even. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at his teeth. They look like light bulbs. Like, what the fuck? His eyes, like, drooping out. His lips all, like, you know. Ah, it's fucking awesome. So, yeah, they jump into this dimension. I'd assume it's some sort of teleportation thing that's going on. They crash land. I loved that. I loved how, you know, they didn't just, like, show up. They just fucking boom, like they knew exactly where they were going. So yeah, they crash land in the garage. See all of Rick's stuff on his shelves back here that never changes. I feel like sometimes a few things, they add a few things in. But like this guy's been there forever. The mace, the crown, the skull, the time travel stuff. So they crash land. Love this brush that they're using down here. I do love that brush, like in some of this over here. So yeah, hologram Rick shows up like, and he's drunk. Which again is a callback to season 4 when, Morty called out Rick for the hologram Rick for eating the chicken wings. Like, dude, you're a hologram. He's like, oh, so holograms can't eat food, you know? But anyway, the candy jar on his head. He's like, yeah, if you're seeing this message, I guess I'm really fucked. Whatever. They're like, yeah, let's get them, boys. So they go over and they start beating up the probe, or the sensor or whatever that displays the hologram. And they start beating it up, thinking they're doing something. The computer system starts talking to him. Just trying to grab Rick up. He starts fighting back on him because he's got control of his own cybernetic enhancements in here. But the computer basically detains him or disables him. They're trying to fight it, but it's not really working. Rick's over here using the antenna bowling ball, which is really cool. Beth walks in like, yeah, whatever the hell's going on in here, like, it needs we need to shut this down. We need to shut this down. So, the family, this old guy grabs Beth, like, I'm gonna shoot her if you guys don't leave us alone, or. So anyway, the family walks in. Rick has a moment of, holy shit, I have a family. Don't hurt them. So they all kind of sit down. Summer's complaining, or Jerry's complaining. Morty comes in. He's like, oh, so are you still Ted or are you still Rick? So he's still Ted. So, yeah. Yeah, so he Morty says, I'm not like a friend to you. I'm your grandson. This kind of touches Rick a little bit, enough to be like, all right, well, you guys just leave us alone. You ought to get out of here. So I'd assume this is on Earth. They go to a bowling alley on Earth. Again, with the lighting and stuff, looks great. That bush looks really cool. So they're on Earth. Rick gives them all cybernetic enhancements. Says, since we're doing this, science stuff, you might as well give us cybernetic enhancements as well. So he does. He equips them up, like some of these vending machines or maybe arcade games in the background. He's got his beer with the cybernetic enhancement. Grabs his bowling ball. Bowling with the Bowling Perfect games. These guys are like, yeah, with their cybernetic enhancements. Rick's not too happy about it. How everything's went down. Kind of realizing his buddies are... Yeah, I'll say this. His buddies are diehard, man. His buddies have been through thick and thin. The least that Rick could do for them was to give him some cybernetic enhancements. But maybe a part of him knows that this is not a good idea. Especially when old Ginger Porn Stash here steps up. But yeah, so Rick goes up to the bar to get himself another beer. He's kind of looking at the names back here. Vance, Tiffany, Tyler. Yeah, the bartender's like, oh yeah, are you the, what did he say? The Hicks with robot arms. He's like, what the hell did you call us? It's like, no, I thought you guys were proud of that name. That was a really funny line. Looks like the bowling tournament coming up. As you can see, like they're over here killing it. Like perfect games. Except for Ted, who's not using his cybernetic enhancements. He's kind of over it, right? So yeah, Ginger steps up. He's like, check this out. He spins around, throws a bowling ball damn near through the wall. Then he uses like a laser beam to fucking blast some of the pins. These guys are having fun with it, right? So anyway, they get kicked out. They go back to the house. Rick's over here trying to keep himself distracted, building this floss dispenser. It spits out the little handheld flossers. I noticed that they forgot to put the time travel stuff on this box. We've seen it earlier, but for some reason it's not there right here. Maybe they forgot. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it's just kind of zoomed out a little, I don't know. I don't know why they did that. Eyeballs in a jar. I've always trying to figure out like what this is. Is it like a camera? Like a video camera? Sometimes I feel like his stuff on his shelf right here is important. Like eventually this is all going to come into play. Like we're going to get some backstory on some of this stuff. Like why does he have a mace? What's that for? Why does he have a crown? Where did he get that? Anyway, so he makes this little machine here, which looks cool. So they go in, they're like, "Oh, what's going on, man? What's up? Why you down?" He kind of shoves them off, opens up a portal, says, "Hey, man, it's time to go, guys. It's time to go. This is my life here. I've accepted it. I'm still Ted, but I got a family. I get the gist. I get the gist of it. You guys got to go." So they're like, "Hey, we're going to take some of your science stuff." They just go in and rob him, basically. Look at this face. Look on his face. Like, they know what they're doing. They're robbing him. Hey, you don't care. Yeah, Antonio gives him one last look, though. Kind of feeling bad. Ted was their friend. Maybe that's a little moment of knowing, like, yeah, we want all this science stuff, but, yeah. That's my buddy right there, so. Rick, we switched to Space Beth. First time we've seen her this season. Talking about how Rick's, not actually Rick. He comes floating by with his dick swinging. They're all grossed out by it. I thought this was actually really, really iconic. This whole scene right here. It was almost like a BoJack Horseman type of scene. But with the portal opening up, him dropping down. So Ted, he's still Ted. He's not Rick. He's Ted. So, he's having like almost like a Ted life crisis right now, for a lack of a better word. But yeah, this was really cool. It's like a really iconic scene here, even though his dick was hanging out. So he goes to this bar, he's getting drunk. See this little goofy guy right here. So bringing it back to the simple alien drawings, whatever this guy's supposed to be. I feel like we've seen one of these guys before. We've definitely seen the flies. So yeah, Rick's getting drunk as fuck. He's got some kind of alien ham or hot dog down here. Whatever the hell's going on there. I like this this martini glass. That looks really cool. some fucking trailer park ass alien here. Yeah, the fly. Another callback to season 4, right? Chandeliers look nice. Got some beads hanging down. Yeah. And the hot dog, man, that shit looks great. So yeah, it's kind of we get another little montage of Rick. Looks like he's got some sort of bone. There's a fishing rod here. He's got a few fishing rods going on here. Nice color. Nice use of color here. Looks really nice. Out here ice fishing. That look on his face. Drunk as fuck. Having a Ted life crisis. And then we zoom out and figure out that, yeah, he's fishing with some fish. Some fucking weird looking fish, too. I like these mountains in the background. They look really nice. It's like jagged mountains. Yeah, then we switch to almost like a whimsical fantasy-styled village here. Rick's giant, just fucking, stomping through this village, terrorizing. He's like, it's Rickzilla. And after he causes a bunch of trouble, he gets drunk and sits on their house. Looks like some unfortunate souls down here got pummeled. But it's Rick. He can do whatever he wants, right? I guess. This was really weird. He's with these like naked mushroom people, and they're naked because they made a point to blur out their private areas, right? He's over here. This neon mushroom that they're bouncing around on. Again, what is going on here? We don't need all this. We don't need to see all this, But yeah, still really cool. Still really cool colors, these neon colors. The facial expressions in this episode. So anyway, we go through this montage of him being in crisis. He finally ends up going back to the planet where he was vacationing on to find that the bowling alley has been completely dismantled and replaced with an L-Mart. Not Kmart, L-Mart. With the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man in the front of it, right? So he goes to look for his buddies. This was a really well done scene here. The sun in the background. He happens upon the shed and finds that there's some sort of tech pulling fish out of the ice here, and they show up all jumbled up like this. Goes in. There's this high-tech machine fishing, and as soon as that jumbled mess of meat gets sucked in, it expels them out as normal fish again. And of course, it's being powered by a car battery. Got to keep it simple, right? This was a really well done episode, man. I loved this episode. So yeah, Rick finds his buddies. Seems like the ginger dude died, probably due to the scientific tech that Rick supplied them with, which they give him a hard time about. He thinks it's Lorraine. Lorraine died a long time ago. That's why he's all mad. So he goes to try to punch this guy, and Rick pulls out he pulls out a device to basically freeze time. Which seems funny to me, right? Because considering the first episode of this season, maybe there's something else going on here other than like time manipulation. But he pauses them, right? Maybe he learned how to pause them and not time. So yeah, the deer should. Maybe that's why they brought this whole scene in, to show that he wasn't pausing time, he was pausing them, their matter in their bodies themselves. Because this deer shows up again. Nice little callback to season 2 again. We see the grave. Rick exits through a portal. They're still frozen. Then after that, they kind of look around, wondering where it is. He restarts time, right? So he goes back, tells Morty he needs Morty. Morty's kind of pissed off because they're all sitting here getting a break from Rick for a while, playing this board game. Jerry kind of gets pissed off too. Rick drops this little portion of portal fluid because he's out of portal fluid, right? Jerry's kind of looking at it. There's a little little worm, arm, tentacle, whatever, coming out of the coming out of the table, out of the portal fluid. Morty, if you notice, has experience with this type of shit. Because, was it season 5? He got the portal fluid stuck on his leg and then ended up with that dude Nik. And that whole episode, so he's like, I'm not touching that shit. So anyway, Rick's over here begging Morty to go with him. Jerry's pissed off because he was actually winning the game for once. And of course, the tentacles fucking grab onto him. And Beth says, all right, Summer, we got to help your dad. Love how so far we haven't really gotten a lot of Beth, Summer, and Jerry. But I like how every time we have seen them, Jerry gets stuck in a fucking pickle. He ends up in these fucked up situations. So. Hopefully we get more of these guys through the season, you know what I mean? Because it does kind of feel a little incomplete with the rest of the cast. So yeah. Beluai 6E. He's got all of his memorabilia in a box here. Rick tells Morty, all right, I'm ready to be Rick again. So he pulls out this fucking, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Some kind of alien shredder. Puts the box in the shredder to get rid of all of his memorabilia. Which Morty almost kind of feels a little guilty about, you know? I mean, he met some, and Morty knows, you know, he's been through these situations before where he's went to planets and lived whole lives, you know, on these other separate planets. So it's like he sees Rick over here getting rid of some of the people he may have met along the way, getting rid of his memorabilia. And he's got that sight. He knows, like, man, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And, yeah, so he shows Morty this picture of him and Lorraine. He's like, man, you look happy in that picture. He's like, why are you going to get rid of this? You look happy here. And Rick doesn't care. He gets rid of it. He shreds it. So they pull out this big red button with all these wires coming out of it. Looks awesome. And Morty's trying to tell him, like, are you sure, man? Are you sure you want to go back to being Rick? Are you sure? He's like, yeah, I gotta do it, man. Gotta do it. So Morty's trying to give him that, you know, hey, it's all right. I understand. But ultimately, Rick presses the button. It almost looks like it kind of sobered him up a little bit. Maybe Ted was a little more of a lightweight than Rick. Maybe by design. But yeah, so Morty kind of looks in. He's like nothing happens. Like he presses this button and he just kind of sits there for a minute. And like even I was like, oh shit, it didn't work. So we're just gonna have fucking Ted for this whole season. But no, you know, he walks away. He just gets up and walks away. Morty's like, yo, what's going on? He's like, did it work? Rick said, yeah, it worked. Which is fitting because, you know, he was miserable as Ted. He was happy there for a moment when he didn't know that he was Rick. And I think that was kind of the point of this whole episode, is that he knew there was a subconscious thing going on that when he figured out that he wasn't actually Ted, he knew that he was running from something, right? And that was brought up earlier in the episode when he was sitting there in the truck with Antonio and he was talking about, he's like, you know, Antonio was telling him about Lorraine and all the things she was going through with her family or whatever, and Rick kind of made that comment of like, well, everyone's running from something, right? So, and that's what this whole episode was. He goes on these vacations, he wipes his memory to run from himself, right? Run from the pain he's been through. All stemming back to his wife, right? And everything that happened there. He can't get over it. I mean, and I think this is the perfect episode to show that even though he killed Rick Prime, He killed the one that got rid of his wife. He killed his wife and his original wife and his original daughter. It just still isn't enough. That old trope, right? Like, you're never gonna, it's not gonna bring him back. Killing that guy or harming that guy that killed your family, it's not gonna bring him back. It's like the whole Frank Castle kind of thing going on in Punisher One Last Kill. And that's what Frank Castle's going through in that, is like he is taking out everyone that he can. Everyone that was involved. It's done. He took them all out. But he still won't allow himself to heal, right? And that's where Rick's at. And that's where we end the episode. I did want to point out that they still do give Justin Roiland credit for creating this show. I like that. I think maybe they have to. But even though whatever is going on with Justin Roiland, I don't want to go into it. Not my business. I still like to see that he gets credit for what he has created. So, yeah, that makes me happy. But anyway, so here's our teaser. Switches to this really nice, almost sea creature type wedding here. We got Rastafari Rick over here with the tentacle locks. He's getting married. Obviously, he's fucking drunk out of his mind, right? Nice use of these vibrant, odd, almost off-color, colors back here. Awesome. Looks fucking great. Rick starts crying. She's almost kind of taken aback, like, yeah, I love you so much. We get married. They ask, the priest asks any objections. Summer says, yeah, I object. Rick fucking does this all the time. He goes on these goddamn vacations just so he can get himself some booty. That's what he does. I really like this fish back here. Love that. And them little shrimps, those look good. I could probably eat that whole rack right now. But yeah. I don't think we've ever seen any of these like these guys. But yeah, this is a fun one. Rick says, "No, screw you. I'm gonna do what I want." He says, Summer's over here like, "Come on, it's time to go. It's time to go, Rick." And of course, they try to run off into the sunset with each other and get married. But here comes one of the claws from the egg. Captures Rick. Fun little episode. Morty's over here having a good time eating some cocktail shrimps. So yeah. Summer explains this happens all the fucking time. This is what Rick does. He goes and gets himself some alien tail. And yeah, don't worry about it. So this is a really good episode. I'm glad I got on here and finished this up. Went a little longer than I was hoping for. I got to go to bed now. I was hoping to work a little bit on my From video. But I think this was a successful stream. Had some people come on and comment, which was awesome. Thank you guys again. I get to just pop your chats up. Love you guys, man. My brother Kyle, my girlfriend. But anyway, like I said, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably try to get on here either today or tomorrow or the next day. What's tomorrow? Friday, Saturday. I gotta get caught up on this Rick and Morty stuff. So, if I'm not back tomorrow with episode 3, I will maybe do 2 live streams on Saturday. Maybe I'll do 1 on Sunday. As long as I get caught up on the next 2 episodes, and that way I can do my streams every Tuesday. So this once I get caught up and I do episode 5, which I think we're on episode 5 now, right? Yeah, when I get to episode 5, I'll be caught up. I'll be doing these every Tuesday. That way I got stuff planned out. I can I can promote it a little bit more, get on here, practice a little bit more. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know if you guys are still in here. Kyle and Babe, I think this was a pretty good stream. So I think this is a good place to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Rick and Morty. If anyone watches this live stream afterwards, leave comments. First off, like and subscribe. And leave me a comment and tell me what you thought of this episode. Maybe there was something I missed. I'm going to try to be a little more thorough with the next episode. I'm going to try to progress each live stream I do. But yeah, if I missed anything, leave me a comment. Let me know. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.